High-speed straights, heady elevation changes and dramatic corners. What is there not to love about today? It's qualifying day here at Spa-Francorchamps.
Radio check, please. Radio check.
There was a bit of a failure in the radio, but all good.
We've been pushed down to P22. .30 seconds left in the session.
And that's it for sprint qualifying. Plenty more coming up over the rest of the weekend. So we'll see you all tomorrow. So with the sprint concluded, join us next time for qualifying and, of course, the main event, this weekend's Formula One Grand Prix. We'll see you next time. High-speed straights, heady elevation changes and dramatic corners. What is there not to love about today? It's qualifying day here at Spa-Francorchamps.
Radio check, radio check.
Radio is good.
Here's a quick position rundown for you. The top 5 are... Okay, so the current fastest lap, 1 minute 42.5. Button, Jackson, Pierce, Hakkinen and Schumacher. They're on provisional pole. Okay, so their best lap so far, 1:42.5. provisional pole. Right, their best lap, 1 minute 42.5.
Welcome then, as we take a step back into the nostalgic golden days of motorsport. Spa is unashamedly a throwback, and all the better for it. Climbs, drops, sharp turns, chicanes, sweeping high-speed corners, all while taking in some of the most beautiful scenery that Europe has to offer. This might sound like a travel brochure, but it's not. It's a race day. Welcome along to Spa-Francorchamps for the Belgian Grand Prix. Spa-Francorchamps today, a circuit that spans 4.35 miles. There are tons of elevation changes along the way too. 19 corners making up this circuit, with 9 of those to the right and the remaining 10 to the left. This track's a great one for fans of pure speed, and the average lap speed comes close to a whopping 145 miles per hour. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. An immense lap from Jenson Button yesterday puts him on pole position, and Mika Hakkinen completes the front row. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Jackson, Pierce, Esteban Ocon and Albon, O'Sullivan, Lawson, Massa and Zane Maloney, Senna, Russell, Franco Colapinto and Michael Schumacher, Fittipaldi, Verschoor, Taylor Barnard and Jack Doohan, Crawford, Martins, Hadja and Gabriel Bortoleto rounds off the grid. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track where preparations are underway. And alongside me today, a man small in stature but big on comment, Anthony Davidson. Hello. I know what we've got to do before the start of today's race, but what about our driver? What do the final hours look like for them?
Well, for them, you've got your pre-race rituals that you go through. You see different drivers that, some have got their headphones on, they're listening to the music. Some drivers really absorb the energy from the crowd and they're there waving to them. Other drivers, they go within themselves. They chat to their engineers, absorbing that information, that vital information that you need to carry you through the race. And, those pre-race rituals are essential to making things systematic. We do a lot of Grand Prix in a season, and the more systematic you can be, the easier you are within that environment.
Okay, give me a quick radio check, please. Radio check.
Radio's good.
Okay, let's try not to worry about being down here at the back. You've got the speed, you've got the car, so just take it easy and the race will come to you. DRS now enabled. DRS enabled. We've got a lot of spare energy, okay to use your overtake button. Okay, you're in ninth position. Okay, gap to leader, 5.8 seconds. Lawson is just ahead. Come on, let's push. Less than a second separates you. They're on fresh mediums. Okay, Massa's behind. Okay, the gap is less than a second. They're on fresh softs. Jensen's just set the fastest lap of the race. Gap to your teammate ahead, 5.7 seconds. P6, you got P6. The distance to the leader, 6.3 seconds. Albon just ahead, push for that position. Okay, here's the gap that we're trailing the car ahead by, 2.5 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. O'Sullivan's behind you now. Okay, they're on old softs. And that's 6 laps until your pit window's open. Okay, 12 laps to go. Just a reminder, we're critical on fuel, probably a lap or so short. We don't need to risk a DNF chasing records, so let's think about starting to conserve fuel, maybe lifting early into the corners. Push now, we're boxing this lap.
Yeah, I can do that.
So your ERS is running a bit low. Look into changing your ERS mode in the MFD for a more conservative burn rate, or you might want to try some lifting or gentle braking to recharge. Box now, please. Box this lap. Okay, go, go, go! That was a fantastic stop, faster than we were expecting. Up to speed now, let's get some heat into those tyres. You've got 11th, that's 11th place. Barnard's ahead of you now. They're on fresh mediums. Colapinto behind you. Okay, they're on fresh hards. That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. Let's go. Okay, just 5 laps until the end. Nice move, good job. Okay, you're in the top 10. Right, the gap to the teammate ahead of us, 12.6 seconds. Side pods have taken damage, you might start to pick up a little bit extra drag. Okay, as things stand, we'll be third in the championship. Okay, mate, final lap. Keep your concentration and let's bring it home. And gap to the car in front, 4.4 seconds. Yes, mate, I'll take that. Well done. We're really happy with the podium down here, so well done. Yes!
I'm not sure I should be happy for that, but I'm actually happy, so good.
The checkered flag is out, and it waves for your winner today, Jenson Button.
And 3 wins in a row now, of course, Croft. You've thrown the gauntlet down. The drivers are out there now. They realise that they are the target. They're the ones to beat. They've got the energy, they've got the momentum on their side.
Here comes your top 3 making their way down to the podium for what can only be described as a fantastic day for Formula One. Well, that was certainly an exciting weekend of Formula One. Be sure to join us for more exciting Formula One action very soon.
Chief, I must remind you that we have parts fully researched that are waiting for development. Let's get that performance on the car.
No pit stops, no strategy. It's all about the pace today. Qualifying day here at the Hungaroring for the Hungarian Grand Prix.
Okay, the guys have found a leak in one of the coolant lines, so we're patching that up as we speak. Hold tight for now until we've got everything checked over. Here's a quick position rundown for you. The top 5 are, okay, so the current fastest lap, 1:14.7. Russell, Maloney, Pierce, Button and Senna. I'm afraid we've dropped to P22.
Goodbye for now then, but really we're just getting started. Make sure to join us again for Lights Out tomorrow. Welcome to Budapest once again for another round of Formula One action. Historically, a good race for first-time victories, with Button, Hill, Alonso and Heikki Kovalainen all reaching the top step of the podium for the very first time right here. Located 12 miles northeast of the Hungarian capital Budapest, the 14 corners of the Hungaroring are steeped in history and prestige. Overtaking's always been difficult on this technical 2.7-mile track, but the last few years in particular have turned up some exceptional races. So let's hope we're in for another one here today. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. George Russell will begin today's event in pole position, and Gabriel Bortoleto completes the front row. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Maloney, Häkkinen, Joshua Pierce and Colapinto, Button, Senna, Ocon and Liam Lawson, Albon, Jackson, Zach O'Sullivan and Martins, Crawford, Hadja, Michael Schumacher and Felipe Massa, Fittipaldi, Verschoor, Barnard and Jack Doohan rounds off the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track. And alongside me here today in the commentary box, Anthony Davidson. I know what we've got to do before the start of today's race, but what about our driver? What do the final hours look like for them?
Well, for them, you've got your pre-race rituals that you go through. You see different drivers that, some have got their headphones on, they're listening to the music. Some drivers really absorb the energy from the crowd and they're there waving to them. Other drivers, they go within themselves. They chat to their engineers, absorbing that information, that vital information that you need to carry you through the race. And, those pre-race rituals are essential to making things systematic. We do a lot of Grand Prix in a season, and the more systematic you can be, the easier you are within that environment.
Okay, mate, radio check, please, radio check.
Yep, radio check.
Right, mate, I know it's hot in that cockpit, believe me, but your tyres are even hotter than that. You've got to work really hard today to keep them cool, otherwise we're going to suffer with our performance. Okay, so all of our tyre pressure data is currently reading 0. Assuming they still look inflated to you, we're going to guess that it's just a bad sensor. Shouldn't be anything to worry about. Okay, this is your final lap of the race. Yes, mate, I'll take that. Well done. We're really happy with the podium down here, so well done. Yes!
It's quite good.
A classic day, a classic win, a classy driver. Victory for Mika Häkkinen.
Well, they showed true grit out there today, Crofty. A steely determination not to be outdone by the rough circumstances. Many points that came their way today. A job well done. Not the easiest of days, but they walk away with a race victory.
Here come today's winners. The team at Red Bull have done a phenomenal job recently, and it's clear to see that they've put in the work, and they should be so proud of the victory they've secured here. Well, what an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
Boss, need to make you aware of something. Another team has made an approach for one of the drivers we're talking to. It's hard to say how far it's gone, but if you're serious about signing them, I'd advise moving quickly. You can find more details in the driver contract screen. Well, it looks like we've been pipped to the post by another team. They've agreed a contract. It's all locked. Hopefully you weren't too set on them. I'm sorry it's not better news, but there are other options out there.